even like with family and stuff, and being willing to do that, right? And be like, okay, this is a project that my wife and I, my partner and I are going to create together. You know, did you have fears about like that at certain points in your life of like starting a family and committing to that and doing that? Was that kind of tough?
So, look, the one thing I always knew I wanted to be was a dad. 8 years old. Tell you a good story. So, you know, Dad had introduced me to a lot of his male friends through life, and, you know, I'm shake their hand, look them in the eye, and nice to meet you, sir. Sir was a big thing in our family. And I remember I was 8 years old. We were in an Oak Forest Country Club parking lot, hello, Longview, Texas. And I met these two men. They were both in black slacks, white shirts, and black jackets. And one of them had shades on. And as I was shaking their hands, I remember the sunlight was behind them. It was kind of in my eyes. I was like, nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, sir. It hit me in my 8-year-old mind at that time that, and they were talking about they started talking about their own children. And it hit me in my 8-year-old mind that, all the people I've shaken, all that my dad's introduced me to, that I shook their hands and said, sir, to, were fathers. And in my 8-year-old mind, I went, that's how you succeed in life. And it, you know, whether I malapropped or that was the meaning I gave it, it stuck with me. And it was always been my measurement of what successful life would be as a man, to become a father and to then help raise kids. So I knew I always wanted to be a father. Now, then you get to, can you meet a woman that you're in love with and that, you know, is going to be a great mother, you know, to them. I fortunately met that woman in Camilla. So, but we didn't get married right off the bat. And maybe this is because my mom and dad were married 3 times, divorced twice, and her mom and dad were married 2 times and divorced 3 times.
Dang, gosh.
So we had a track record for reason to go like,
that's a lot of math and jewelry.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Yeah.
So we're rolling along, man, and saying it's going great, and we don't want to get married because that's just what you're supposed to do. I don't want to back into it because someone goes legally. It's, I don't know what but no, bullshit. I want to. And I didn't really want to. I wasn't against it, but her and I were like, we're doing good. We have our first child. Or let me go back to 9 months before we have our first child. I come home, and there's cheeseburgers she's cooking on the grill. I smell them. She pours me a double of my favorite tequila. God. I sit down, and she gives me a gift. I open it up. It's the, what do you call it, the sonogram, or whatever gram that is, where you see in the belly you got a baby and a fetus. She's pregnant. Oh, my gosh. Cry, tears. We hug it out. Oh, my God, this is so awesome, et cetera, et cetera. Let's call my mom. Tell her the good news. I get my phone out, call Mom. Camilla's sitting next to me. Mom, you there? We got some great news to tell you. Got you on speakerphone. Can you hear? Camilla is here. Hi, Camilla. Hi, Miss McConaughey. How are Mom? You there? You got me? Yeah, I'm listening. I can't wait. Tell me. Mom, Camilla's pregnant. Crickets. Next thing I hear is, No, Matthew, this is out of order. I didn't raise you to do this. No, Matthew, you're supposed to be married, and went on and on and on in a 5-minute monologue and then hung up. And I stop, I look over at Camille, and she looks at me, and we're like, oh, shit, that didn't go the way we kind of hoped it would, man. And so, you know, let's top off that drink. Now. You know what I mean? Woo, okay. 10 minutes later, the phone rings. It's my mom. Yeah, hi, Mom. She goes, hi, Matthew. Mom, speakerphone. I go, I can put you on speakerphone. Okay. Is Camilla there? Yeah, she's right. Hey, Miss McConaughey. Okay, can y'all both hear me? Yeah, we hear you, Mom. We hear you, Miss McConaughey. Okay. I would like to put some white out over that last I was being selfish, thinking about myself. If you two are happy about it, I should be happy for you. It's not my place to be unhappy. So we had 2 children before we got married. Having kiddos is, in some ways, how we become immortal. If we're fortunate enough for them to outlive us. Yeah. And if we're fortunate for them to have kids and pass on a lineage. It's like you first have a kid, you're like, I have helped create a being that is outside of myself, but my blood and so is in them. Yeah. It's a certain way to immortality. And I don't mean in the religious sense of, if you live this way, you live forever because you get to the gates and the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. But it is a mortal way of going, no, just kind of scientific, evolutionary wise, it's a way to become immortal. And I find there's a great power in that and a great freedom and responsibility that comes with that, because you're shepherding your future self through your child or what you're for 18 years, so to speak, generally in the household before they go off into the world. So you're taking care of yourself.
Right, in a weird way.
By taking
like a chunk of yourself.
By taking care of it's our greatest children. I mean, it's the greatest export, and it is the most closest piece of art in the world that we'll ever put out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you and your family, do you have any traditions that really mean a lot to you guys that you have felt like have helped you establish more of a sense, like a familiar sense, like a team sense kind of?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's better than my family ever was on the actual rituals. I mean, my family's like, everyone come over for Thanksgiving, we're going, and it's like swing by the pit and get some food while you're doing it, and we're going to sit down? Well, not unless everybody wants to sit down. Yeah. My wife's like, no, I'm setting the table.
Right.
And we're sitting down and doing this. Yeah. And we're going to say prayers before, and everyone's going to go around. That's one of the things we like to do. Call it around the horn. Everybody, before we eat, share something out loud, something you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Share it up. And at very least out there, it at least makes the food taste better.
Yeah.
At least. But it also is a great conversation starter, because you'll say things, and a lot of people don't like to share them out loud. And it'll start a conversation with somebody that you didn't know. Why did you say you're thankful for that thing? Oh, I didn't know your grandmother just got out of the hospital. Oh, I didn't know that you did good on that test last Tuesday, and you're thankful for that. And it's a great way to get a conversation started. We practice that. We are we have dinner each night. It's a small ritual, but in the busy worlds of today,
it's huge
to have that down, and everyone comes in, and you hear a little bit about the day, and it's kind of like the team gets together, and I was talking to my kids. We were talking to kids about it the other day. I was like, look, talk about these bonfires we have. Our family, we're calling it a bonfire, not a campfire. Bonfire, boys and girls, let's go, man. This is a non-negotiable. We created it. We're on our way. We think we're doing all right. Let's keep putting log wood on this fire. But you three kiddos, you're responsible for going and chopping wood here too, and bringing the log back to the fire. It's not just me and your mama,
right,
that are doing that. It's talking about back to sports we were in the very beginning. It's a team effort here.
Yeah.
Y'all got to start adding that.
Yeah.
And have the confidence yourself that you do have a log to add to this fire.
Right. I think encouraging kids to think and feel like that, it's important, because kids don't know how to think and feel. I think there's like this understanding that people just know what feelings are and what's happening and like what their responsibility is as a brother or a son. It's like a lot of that stuff has to really be kind of instilled, I think.
I think you're right, because I'm guilty of giving the Cliff Notes version of things to my kids sometimes, where they're like, I think is like, well, duh, you understand that, you know what I mean? Like little things, man. Hey, how do you wipe your butt? Yeah. You know what I mean? What's deodorant for? You know what I mean? Little things you're like, well, duh, and like, no,
if you're wiping your butt with deodorant, it's gonna burn.
How would I know? Yeah. Things you got to let them know.
There's that extra step a lot of times, and I think we think that kids are just adults in a way, like sometimes,
or they saw it somewhere, they picked it up,
that they already know.
Because that's the other thing. You do find out a lot of things that they did pick up that you didn't know they knew.
Right. And then you start to be like, oh, well, and you try to help them anyway, and they're like, I already know this. Yeah. So it's like, it's probably a little catch. But
there's a whole lot of things that, they don't know. It's in our family, one of the things is, when are the kids ready for this type of movie?
Or
a PG or an R or something. And what content is in there. I just don't want, there's some certain things in life about love, about violence, about all the ways of the world that I don't necessarily, I want my kids to get it from an outside piece of entertainment before they have a context of understanding it from me and their mother.
For sure.
Like, let them understand it first before seeing it for the first time, and their emotions are going all over the place for pleasure or pain, but they don't know what it all means.
Right.
Or does that happen? Well,
Sure.
So I want the context coming from their mom and dad first, so they can then see it and go, I understand that was however realistically that was done and how that affected me. But I understand the context of that scene I just saw. And that's why I try to hold back certain content,
Oh, I think it makes sense.
From the kids to have just an understanding of the reality, so you can at least appreciate it, but know that that's fiction.
Right. Yeah, you got to be a keeper. You got to be a keeper. You're running the kennel. When you're doing that.